Hey, so I was doing office hours with middle school teachers at 12:30 and I logged in to Pear Deck and it shows me that my subscription is premium. Look at this. Click here. You're on a premium account and I rule. Yes, I do. So it said review account. I thought I would do that. It says I am premium. And then I went into settings, some classroom climate stuff, immersive reader. That got my attention. I thought I would want to turn that on. Syncing to Google Classroom, absolutely. Takeaways. Now, I did a webinar yesterday, and this is super cool too. I'm going to turn this on. What a takeaway is after your students participate in a Pear Deck lesson, they will get a Google Doc with the slides that they engaged with. So this was my remote learning student-paced webinar. And you can see slide 1 was an introduction. Slide 2 was taking a stress check of the students. This was the master slide, and this was my response. Slide 3 was where do you reside? And the little green dot was my response. So throughout the Pear Deck presentation, here's a question. This was my answer. These were the other possible choices. Now, a teacher can take notes before having this go to students, but that is called a takeaway. And I'm super impressed with the feedback that we can provide our students. We're already Google single sign-on, and we don't want to lose that. So really, what is Pear Deck and how could you get started? If you're opening a Google slide deck, and it could be one you've already created, or it could just be a blank one, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to add-ons and get the add-on called Pear Deck. You can see I already have it. It encouraged me to download a Pear Deck extra boost thing. I'm not quite sure about that, but I did what I was told. So now I'm going to open the Pear Deck add-on. And again, you guys, I think this is great for K-12. Pear Deck makes your slides interactive. And of course, we will be providing some resources. I already have 3 videos on the Remote Learning Hub to introduce you to it. But you can ask questions. So maybe my first question is, how are you today? And that's going to be a text response. Pear Deck will add a banner at the bottom of my slide so that when I'm presenting to students, they can write their response. I can add another slide, and it can just be whatever. And this might be, what's your favorite candy bar? I know these are very academic questions, but you get the idea. This is going to be a multiple choice question. Pear Deck tells me, or allows me to do my options. So it's Snickers, and it's not Snickers, M&M, and it is Reese's or whatever. And I can add more and update the slide with those answer choices. These draw and draggable are going to be awesome for math. Now, you can also add audio to slides, so you can give instructions, you can read text, whatever. And then the template library is a pretty powerful tool. So bell ringers during lesson, end of lessons, and you can see all your student responses on a teacher dashboard. So look at that. If I go back, it also has social, emotional, different subject areas. So dig around with Pear Deck and keep your eyes and ears open for additional PD. This is where you start your lesson, and you can either they're really working on synchronous and asynchronous. What's cool is I could start synchronously in a Zoom meeting or in a face-to-face classroom, and then I can change it to student-paced mode, and they can finish it on their own. If this were going to be teacher-paced, kids can either be invited via Google Classroom, via a link, or they go to joinpd.com and put in a code. So I know that's a ton of information, but I want you all to know it is there, ready to go, and I hope you get started. So here my teacher dashboard is popping up. So I'm able to see student responses and things like that. There's the joinpd.com and the code. More to come, I promise.